就是对这些 indeclinable 做很多的解释，而且有不同的这个 indeclinable，然后它的就表示不一样的意思，所以它只是提到一些例子而已。OK。So， 要休息吗？还是要继续？
休息一下好，
好，我问你们了，我问你们代表我不做决定啊。
我想要，但是有人想要休息，
所以你们要说。
继续。
休息休息。
好，好像大部分人要休息，休息。They prefer to rest a little bit.
Okay. But I was wondering because we have this text in 330, and then we have the other text. But if
okay, keep on. You make a decision. If you don't want to make a lesson, don't do it.
If
they want, but if you don't want.
if you don't mind, we can have a rest, let's say, in 20 minutes.
再过20分钟，我们休息一下，好不好？
And then we change text. So I wanted to bring your attention to how this very small sentence exemplifies in a simple manner the main areas of Sanskrit grammar which we must learn. So when we look at these two words, Vimalakirti and Lichavihi, these exemplify the nominal system, the subanta, the sub-ending, which means the words which are declined. When you look at amantrayate, you have the tinanta, the verbal end. Tinanta. When you look at the words Vimalakirti and Bodhisattva, you have examples of compounds, samasa. And when you look at Tan, you have an example of a sarvanama. When you look at Ata and Sma, you have examples of abhyayas. These more or less covers all the main elements that we need to learn in Sanskrit grammar. So even in a small sentence, we can find all of them, and understanding these few areas which I have just mentioned is really, I think, the key to understand Sanskrit grammar.
就是说这么简单的一句话，就已经包含那个梵文的，代表已经梵文的所有的那些文法的这种复杂的背景啊，提到，比如说我这个Banta 就是名字，我们就会说名字，对不对？然后有名字呢，也有动词，就是叫什么Tinanta，然后还有这个Abhyaya 就是 declinable， 然后就还有这些Sarvanama，还有那个Samasa， 就是这个五个语啊。
可以把这几个字写上去黑板上面，这4个字。
好 ，please write it on the.
Cannot see?
Who cannot see?
It's nothing.
Okay.
Can you? Nobody can see?
Maybe turn the lights on.
Okay. So it's no.
Thank you.
Can you see?
Yes.
in a way, this is most of Sanskrit grammar. If you can learn this, then you have an idea of most of Sanskrit grammar. These are keywords. Incidentally, I would suggest you, if you're learning Sanskrit, you don't need to know all the traditional terminology, but at least make sure you know the keywords. So these are very standard keywords.
这是方文文化的一些关键词，以这些方文的这个文化方面的那些专有名项，不要全部就背，但是这些关键词还是很重要，所以你还是，因为它是代表方文的一个文化的要点，所以你们就这些起码这些要背起来。一般它就是那些属于是名词。 其他就是那些动词啊、加呀，就是这些没有变化的词呢。然后这个萨巴拿嘛，就是代名词，然后什么萨就是复合。
Very crucial thing that I must add is this. Karaka. Very important.
还有卡拉卡，卡拉卡我还不会。
Karaka is how in Sanskrit you explain syntax, the relationship between dhatu and pratyaya, the relationship between the root and other elements within the same word or within the same sentence. All of that is explained according to Karaka. So all the relationship between actions and any other elements in the sentence are expressed through the Karaka system. You have the agent, the object of the action, the instrument. All of these are called karakas.
Okay.
They can be expressed in a number of different ways, through verbal endings, through nominal endings, through the coordination between verbs and nouns, through kodanta. There's several different ways to express karakas, inside a word or between words.
The karaka means syntax.
Broadly speaking, yes, but syntax sometimes in English is restricted to the analysis of how word position affects, and this doesn't have to do with word position.
Syntax means the relationship between the sides.
In that sense, it's close, it's quite close, but it's more specifically regarding actions. It's all understood with actions or activities at the center of the whole analysis.
So because the sentence, because that's hard to understand what you're saying, because there's a certain kind of linguistic concept which you presuppose. And it's not easy to explain it.
Okay, take amantrayate.
Okay.
Amantrayate is referring to the agent.
Yes.
So it expresses the kartra karaka, the agent karaka.
Yeah.
Tan refers to the object of the action. That is called karma karaka.
Okay.
So this is an example. That's what is meant.
Well, what would be then the molecule? He would be the edge.
Yes, but he expands upon the information that we already have. The agent, strictly speaking, here is already expressed by the verb.
According to Sanskrit.
Yeah. You remove the verb, if you just have vimalakirti lichavihi, the first vibhakti has no power to express the agent there.
Okay, because it is always in relation to the whole action. Right?
Exactly.
Okay. So basically, a sentence expresses an action.
Yeah, most sentences.
Is it true that in some the linguistic concept of a sentence for Sanskrit ancient Sanskrit Sumerian, did it exist or not?
Yes, but there's different explanations of what constitutes a sentence. So you have numerous theories in Sanskrit telling you what is a sentence. For example, Vasubandhu says that the sentence is yavat artha parisamapti. he discusses this in the Abhidharmakosha, Bhashya. So in the context of the Padakaya, the group of sentences, because there is the sentence. Pada there is used for sentence. And the explanation is that a vakya, a sentence, is up to when you have conveyed a complete sense. Complete sense. Yavat artha parisamapti.
But you're talking about actions, right?
Not all sentences only have to do with actions. The Karaka analysis has to do with action. For example, there's another type of relationship called sambandha. And sambandha doesn't always have to do with actions. Hans' house. That's sambandha. It's not an action. So not all types of syntactical connections have to do with actions. But Karaka, it's always with action. And it has to do with what relationship any element here has with the main action of to address. So the other element here has the relationship of agent. This one has the relationship of object, and so on and so forth.
反正他就提到一个 karaka 这个名称，我也没有完全明白这个他讲的意思，因为这是跟这种梵文的古代梵文文化分析相关的一个字。反正它就代表什么 system of action， you translate karaka as system of action。
System of explanation based on actions, centering on actions. An explanatory system centering on actions.
Okay, an explanatory system of actions. Right?
Centering on actions.
Of actions. Okay， 就是一种针对行动的一个说明系统，或者可以说以行动为焦点的一个说明系统，这就是 karaka 的这个意思了。那意思就是说，一个举行是一个行动，比如说 amantrayate， 这个是一个 action， 就是 to address somebody address， 它就已经包含这个主次，因为它是第三人称，对不对？然后它也是这个谈波利萨梵就是表达这种行动的对象是什么，然后 vimalakirti 就是表达这种行动者的这个身份等等，所以这个就是叫 karaka。那可以说 karaka 是有一点像我们讲的那种文法结构、句型结构方面的意思，但是它是从一个行动的角度去理解句型所表达的意思啊，每一句话就是一种好像是行动的表现，反正这是我所理解它的解释。
So now I cannot dwell on it much longer, but basically if you want to learn two things, meaning Sanskrit and Buddhist philosophy in India, or any philosophy in India, whether it's in Sanskrit or Pali and even Tibetan, I don't know, maybe it doesn't go into Chinese, but in Tibetan it's still important, you need to know the Karaka system. Otherwise you just can't follow the arguments, basically. Many philosophical arguments expressed in Sanskrit or Pali and in Tibetan too are completely based on the Karaka system.
But what is the karaka system?
It's an explanatory system.
No, give an example. I really.
An example is that if we have, let's say we have the sentence Deva Dattaha Odanam Pachati. Deva Datta cooks rice. Then we have to understand how the different elements in the sentence help in accomplishing the main action. What is their role in the
So the syntactical elements. That would be the English understanding of it.
Yes, I would tend to use that, but as I said, when I checked how syntax is often defined, it's defined in terms of word order. And so if it's a restricted understanding of syntax, then I have some. But
syntax in the semiotics is the relationship between the signs.
okay, but syntax could be too broad, because for example, if you say
but okay, no, because I think it's a little bit complicated in this context, because it implies too many things, and then this becomes.
yeah, but my point is just that try to learn the Karaka system as much as you can, as soon as you can.
But what is its Karaka system? Is it that what you wrote about there, or what is it?
It's this.
Yeah, give an example. What?
Agent, instrument, object of the action, like identifying these roles of different elements in the sentence in respect to
Okay.
the main action or other actions within it.
Okay, like the Baptist and stuff.
No.
No.
No, vibhaktis express Karakas but should not be identified with Karakas. That's why the case system is mistaken, because it uses something similar to Karaka roles and imputes them on the expression, while actually that's the expressed. So actually that's the very big mistake.
So what is it then? If you say learn the Karakas, and I don't know what to learn. So
Well,
give me an example of what I should learn.
Start understanding whether something is the agent, something is the object of the action, or it's the instrument. And not just from one word to the other, but also within the same word.
Within the same.
Yeah, I will give you examples of that when we have words which I feel like are good examples. So I will do that, especially in the Prasannapada it might become more important. That just keep this in mind, that Karaka is important, and slowly, when you encounter some explanation of Karaka, pay attention to it. That's all I'm saying. When you find some further explanation of Karaka, which you might find in some grammars, you can start thinking, oh, this is important, I should pay attention to it.
反正卡拉克是用来分析这些什么，就是符号之间的关系。那符号如果是代表一种行动，那就是会有一种行动值，一个行动的手段，还有行动的对象。然后你是要从这个符号的关系去了解这种这样的关系。他好像是像我讲的这个东西，反正这是访问文化，就是古代访问文化学者的一个概念。那我也不是完全理解他的这个意思，我也没办法做一个说明。
I will later show you some concrete examples so that maybe you can start getting some idea of what I mean. I just want to tell you this point. It's important, keep it in mind. So now we have gone through the sentence, and I would say let's just read it once more now that you know the meaning. We read it once, and maybe you can read it by understanding what it means. So first we read one word at a time, then the whole sentence. Atha Vimalakirtihi Lichchavihi Tan Bodhisattvan Amantrayate Sma. Atha Vimalakirti Lichchavis Tan Bodhisattvan Amantrayate Sma. Okay, now we finish the sentence, so I think this is a good point to have a break.
So only one sentence.
Okay, then we can start with the second sentence. The second sentence is the actual question, is what actually Vimalakirti asked. So first he says he addressed the bodhisattvas, but we don't really know what he said, and what follows is what he actually says. And this is a very common structure in the sutras. So usually it's the Buddha. Normally the main interlocutor in most sutras tends to be the Buddha. The Vimalakirti Meditation Sutra is one of those sutras where the main interlocutor happens to be somebody else, namely Vimalakirti. And in this case, he asks something he addresses them, and he asks them a rather direct question. It's a little bit, there's a very Buddhist usage, which I will discuss here. But first we can read each word, and then read the whole sentence. Pratibhatu Sat Purushaha Katamaha Bodhisattvanam Advaya Dharma Mukha Praveshaha Pratibhatu Sat Purushaha Katamo Bodhisattvanam Advaya Dharma Mukha Praveshaha This is a question, and this is the question related to the very title of this chapter. Our main sentence is, well, we have two sentences actually. The first sentence is Pratibhatu Satpurushaha. Pratibhatu Satpurushaha. This is our main sentence. So, Pratibhatu, how to translate this? Let it shine, literally, kind of. Let it be understood. But here it means that you should have an inspiration to answer. That's more or less the sense. Pratibhana is a quality of bodhisattvas, actually. Sometimes it's called Ananta Pratibhana, infinite Pratibhana. And Pratibhana is something like intelligence, brilliance, intuition. It can be the ability to understand, but most often the ability to talk and explain. So that's what is associated with this request. Let it shine, let it be understood, but also may you please have this ability to explain. And then there's a vocative, Sambodhana, Satpurushaha, all good people. So Sat, this is a Karmadharaya compound, where one part qualifies the other, or otherwise said, they are the same referent. Samanadhikaranaha, Tat Purushaha. So when a Tat Purusha is such that the two elements are the same referent, that is called Karmadharaya. So this is a Karmadharaya. All good people, Sat Purushaha, Sat Purushaha. Good.
It's good.
Good. All good people, Pratibhatu, let it be, maybe let it be explained, may there be the ability to explain. It would be nice to see what the Chinese has for this particular word, actually. And then we have the question. Oh, sorry, yes. Maybe.
他这句话有包含两句话，第一句话是什么 ？Pratibhatu Satpurushaha。Satpurushaha，就是一个不会语，我们就学过那个 Satpurusha 里面有一个 Kamadharaya， 对不对 ？Kamadharaya 是什么意思？它是说，两个字都是有同样的一个 referent， 对不对 ？OK， 所以 all good people， Purusha 就是诸葛复数，对不对？所以说三是不做 all good people。
All good people. Yeah. I thought you said all. All good people.
All, not all.
Not all.
OK， 哦，那是吧 ？All good people。那为什么是听懂吗？这个 all 和 all 的差别是什么？听得出来没有？all 是什么意思？哦，不是全部。感叹，对，它是一种类似胡歌的意思，但是就so is it a vocative or is it 是胡歌，我刚才说了yeah because all sounds the same for me. Okay. All people, all good people, not all. Yeah. So 它是一个胡歌。所以是一个胡歌，那胡歌跟诸葛复数有点像，对不对？所以 OK， 所以all good people 就是说，这个维玛拉克基是针对那些菩提萨埵这样子去称呼他们，就是懂吗？然后 pratibhatu 它是一个命令式，对不对？命令式第三人称复数，然后它的Subhana, that come from Subhana, Ba. It's not related to Subhana.
No.
No. Okay. So Ba, 这个语根就是说 to shine, right?
Yeah.
就是发亮，照亮的意思。
照见。
对，照见或者照亮，然后。因为它是 pratibhatu， 所以它是命令式，所以命令式是意思让它照亮，但是这边的意思是说类似请回答，请说明，因为你让它这个维玛拉克基就是请这些所有的请这些人让某一个东西。被照亮，对不对？所以他就请他们，所以请照亮的意思是说，请给我一个答案，对不对？因为答案是一个说明，说明就是照亮的意思，听懂意思吗？对不对？
老师，佛经里面是翻成放光啊。
放光，啊是这样子，因为我没有这个，你给我看一下。
放光的时候就会说。
请说明，它这边也是用说明的方式，请说明就是放光，是不是放光的意思吗？
涅槃经里面佛陀在说明事情之前都会先放光。
我想不一样，不一样的意思。那个，你们有没有鸠摩罗什或者玄奘的翻译知道吗？也不重要，我觉得，或者是，他这边有，或者注不是鸠摩罗什根本没有做。
对，鸠摩罗什没有。
不是当时。没有，他根本没有翻译的。
都没有。
学正鸠摩罗什根本没有翻译，所以假设然后这个白话翻译，从梵文的白话翻译就是跟我刚刚说的一模一样，请说明。那你看中文的说明也是有这个意思，把就是明，让它变亮，就是照亮的意思，对不对？所以它的意思是。pratibhatu 的意思说，请你们就是照明啊，就是说明的意思。我想可以懂啊，对不对？所以对不对？对，所以请说明。
And then the actual question, which is Katamaha Advayadharma Mukha Praveshaha Bodhisattvana. What is or how is Katamaha the entrance, to the Dharma Mukha, the Dharma gate of non-duality, Advaya, for the Bodhisattvas or of the Bodhisattvas? That's our question.
But I think you should explain the grammar.
Sure. Okay, so here again we have the Sarvanama type. It's a Sarvanama Shabda.
Is it Sarvanama Katamaha?
Katamaha, I think so, yeah. And it's an interrogative.
Also, so it has a declination.
Yeah. This is first vibhakti singular masculine.
Okay.
Because it is connected to pravesha. The stem form of katamaha is katamat. So it's a katamat with ta, ending in ta. Katamat. So if it were neuter, it would be katamat. So we have katamat, rupam, katamat. We find this question very often.
Is it a declination or not?
No, it's well, the stem form is ta, but in the masculine it becomes an a ending.
Yeah.
So in that case, it's like
So
ta.
it's first vibhakti singular.
First vibhakti singular, yes.
Okay.
But in the plural, it would not be katamaha. It would be katame.
Okay, I see.
You see? So
Yeah,
because it's sarvanama shabda.
Sarvanama, yeah.
So katamaha goes with praveshaha.
Yeah, okay.
So what is the entrance? That's basic. And then we have the sixth vibhakti, so genitive plural,
Right.
bodhisattvana.
Right.
And you see, strictly speaking, when you have sixth vibhakti, it should go with the main element in the compound. So it should go with pravesha. And I think in this case works. But you should not expect it to work all the time. There is something called sapeksha samasa. Sapeksha means it depends on the particular context. So in some cases, it is such that the sixth vibhakti ends up coordinating with the very first element or some other element. It's not always so strict. And you find having the usage of sapeksha syntax between compound and the sixth vibhakti is actually, even used by grammarians, is not considered so wrong. So you might not find it very often explained in grammar books, but in fact, it's a very recurrent usage. Here, however, maybe we don't need to recur to that to interpret this. We can actually say that it's the entrance for the bodhisattvas. So we can directly coordinate this with the main element in the compound, and it's fine. I don't think we have any problems with that. But I'm just telling you, just as a general principle, that it's not always so easy.
So the pravesaha is the entrance, right?
Yeah.
So the entrance of the bodhisattvas, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you should explain what kind of compound it is.
Okay. Entrance into, so usually this would have
Tatpurusha.
7 vibhakti tatpurusha. Dharma mukhe pravesha. That's, or maybe even second vibhakti, dharma mukham praveshati, maybe it's okay. Yeah, maybe 7, sorry, not 7, I mean second. Dharma mukham praveshati, maybe that's okay. Enters into that. And
This is Tatpurusha.
it's a Tatpurusha either way. I'm just discussing which vibhakti Tatpurusha it might be. Dharma mukha, dharmasya mukha, again, it would be a Tatpurusha relationship. Dharmasya mukha.
Yeah.
So it's a 6 vibhakti Tatpurusha. And Advaya Dharma, again, probably would be a 6 vibhakti Tatpurusha. Advayasya Dharma, the Dharma of non-duality.
Oh.
Maybe, but it could also be a Karmadharaya.
Karmadharaya.
Advayam eva Dharma, that's possible. So sometimes we have multiple possibilities, and this I think is one such case.
If it is a Karmadharaya, then it would be something like the non-dual Dharma.
Exactly. Yeah.
那就这句话呢，卡塔马哈，就是英文就是 what is something like that.
Yeah. What?
然后它也是属于他这边所提到的那个萨尔巴纳玛 ，Can you point it please？ 萨尔巴纳玛就是我们说的这个代名词，但是它是一个译文词，听懂吗？译文的代名词。也就像这个译文，但是我们英文说的译文词是属于萨尔巴纳玛的这一类的不是完全相同的，所以它的这个格是跟 pravesha 是相对应的，对不对？所以那个是两个都是逐格央形的单数 ，OK？ 所以是 what pravesha 是类似entrance 就是怎么说呢？中文怎么说呢？门口但这是进入的意思，对不对？
对。
所以是哪一种什么样的一个门口？然后 bodhisattva 呢，就是一个数个复数，对不对？所以是那个门口这个 bodhisattva 的这个 pravesha， 听懂意思吗？就是那些菩萨的一些门口的门口，对。然后其他的这个 advaya dharma mukha pravesha 就是一个 tatpurusha 的一个复合语，然后这一句tatpurusha 是什么意思？它的这个那个复合语的 members， 他们都有不同的 reference， 对不对？然后但是不是同样一个 reference， 但是是不同的一个他们两个的格是不一样，懂吗？所以它就是刚刚都解释mukha pravesha mukha 是首个 pravesha 是进入的意思，说进入这个门 ，OK。然后 dharma mukha 是 dharmasya mukha 是一个数个关系，就是这个 dharma 的一个门啊。然后 advaya dharma 可能是一个 karma dharaya， 那这样的话是不二的法，懂我意思吗？所以就是说这个对吗？天气精英就是对那些菩萨就说，请说明如何进入菩萨们的这个不二门的方式是这样子 ，OK。
Okay, so maybe now we can really have a break.
Yeah.
But so let's read it once more. Pratibhatu Satpurushaha Katamaha Bodhisattvanam Advaya Dharma Mukha Pravesha Pratibhatu Satpurushaha Katamo Bodhisattvanam